Welcome, my name's David, and I'll be guiding you through this Mindspeller product demo. This video is designed to help you get the most out of your Mindspeller free demo user experience. You can access this free demo directly from the Mindspeller website at www.mindspeller.com. To illustrate how you can apply Mindspeller to pre-test and refine your branded content, we will be working with real-life marketing concepts from one of the world's most popular CG brands, Tropicana. Of course, Mindspeller's advertising pre-testing AI can just as well be used to refine your messaging and manage your brand reputation, even if you're still on a small B2B scale-up, for example. The Tropicana concepts used in this product demo just make it easier to illustrate how to get the most out of your Mindspeller's license. For this demo, we will be showcasing some of the most iconic product visuals in the world of branding. I'm talking about Tropicana's infamous 2009 rebranding campaign failure. The reason why this failed Tropicana campaign is such an interesting use case is that we know exactly how much money was wasted due to the lack of AI-driven pre-testing. Various online sources claim that the brand witnessed a $30 million drop in revenues within 2 months following the launch of this 2009 Tropicana rebranding campaign. Adding the alleged $20 million spent on the ad agency's designing, recommending, and implementing this particular rebranding campaign, and you get to a total of $50 million that could have been saved using an ad pre-testing AI like Mindspeller. These mind-boggling figures make it worthwhile to take a deep dive decoding the Tropicana brand DNA using state-of-the-art testing tools like Mindspeller. You'll also discover how easy it is to improve the brand messaging using Mindspeller's Content Tuner. In fact, we'll start off this demo jumping right into Mindspeller's Content Tuner AB application, Content Tuner. After you've selected the Content Tuner application, either directly from your dashboard or via the main menu, let's start by copy-pasting the text used by the brand on their September 2022 main website homepage. We'll also load in the image section of the A version on the upper left, the key product visual that has already been positioned in Mindspeller's network, crowdsourcing spontaneous associations from hundreds of Mindspeller community members. You can easily add these creative concepts as new digital assets via your library. Once you've uploaded your assets, Mindspeller starts crowdsourcing spontaneous associations from real human respondents to add them to the world's largest EEG-validated implicit association map. Now, before we can generate an evaluation of your version A content, you'll note here in the upper right-hand corner of the screen that we first need to enter an intended association. Yes, we need to think about the main theme that Tropicana wants to convey when exposing us with their branded content. That's not always an easy concept to get right. After all, you don't want to code for generic themes like innovative or sustainable or fantastic because they don't set your brand apart from the competition. You want to come up with an intended association that truly resonates with your target audience and can serve as a unique frame of reference for your brand, a metaphor that connects authentically to your brand DNA. Now, that's easier said than done, and that's exactly why we have developed a set of applications that can help you shortlist some interesting candidate themes. Let's start by revealing your brand's verbal identity by opening the Competitive Profiler application in a new browser tab. After loading our two competitive assets, we hit the Generate button to rank the spontaneous associations that differentiate these two competitors the most in the subconscious consumer mind. In this case, when we compare the failed Tropicana product visual with the iconic visual to the right, we notice the overarching theme that makes up the Tropicana success can be summarized as the sweet, sugary, or syrupy flavor that is nowhere to be found in the verbal identity associated with the failed asset to the left. Now, let's take this insight and see if we can use it to shortlist a few intended associations for our content tuning instance we'll return to in a moment. What we'll do now is open up Mindspeller's Inspiration Explorer application in a new browser tab. Here, we can simply enter the most representative keywords distinguishing our target asset from its competitor based on our competitive profiling result. We'll consider this our intended association long list, and we'll scan the entire Mindspeller network to shortlist alternative themes that might serve as a frame of reference to rebrand Tropicana. Before we hit the Generate button, I invite you to take a moment and try to come up with a few common denominator themes that have the potential to represent all of these long-listed asset descriptors resulting from our competitive profiling. We're looking for a strategic, long-term frame of reference that we want to code our brand for on the subconscious level, a shared customer passion that credibly links to our brand's DNA. Before we reveal the Inspiration Explorer results, let's in fact first take a quick sidestep to visualize Tropicana's brand DNA to set the stage for our strategic shortlisting exercise. Let's open the Association Wheels application in another browser tab and load our two Tropicana use case assets. If we explore the association wheel for Tropicana's iconic product visual looking for shared customer passions, we notice some interesting candidates in the long tail. Notice how the iconic Tropicana orange straw combination apparently also evokes some emotional memories of being a kid, for example. In this case, this is certainly one of the more interesting emotional drivers. One that could serve as an original frame of reference for our brand, the kind of metaphor we're interested in. Let us now return to the Inspiration Explorer to reveal the results from our network scanning exercise and check if we can use our childhood theme hunch. At the top of the results screen, notice here how Mindspeller ranks the common denominator themes according to originality, whereas at the bottom half of the screen, they are ranked according to popularity. Using the features in the Inspiration Explorer application, we can now highlight the themes that might substantiate our hunch or inspire a mental connection. Here we can clearly notice a number of associations like treat, candy, ice cream that support our childhood hunch we got from using the Association Wheel application. Now, before we get carried away with this new childhood theme, let's first run a quick sanity check using the Connection Checker application. We want to make sure that we code for implicit associations for which we already have the strongest competitive advantage in place. A hidden gem mental connection that can be rediscovered, polished, and promoted as core brand value. That's what we're looking for. To perform this sanity check, let's open Mindspeller's Connection Checker in another browser tab and load a few shortlisted themes for which there might even be some internal debate between your team members as to which one to code for. Let's assume for a minute that you've got some healthy competition between the following four keywords: kids, childhood, vitamin C, and sunshine. Note how the latter theme is the one that Tropicana seemed to have chosen based on their September 2022 homepage headline, in which the sunshine theme seems quite central. Now let's generate the result and analyze the subtle differences. Note that a difference of 0.2 on the Mindspeller scale is already statistically significant, meaning that there is a real difference in terms of how strongly this asset evokes their particular theme. Or in other words, how often these two concepts are implicitly thought of in the same context, reinforcing each other subconsciously in the consumer mind. Differences in excess of 0.2 on this scale can be quite valuable if you consider how difficult it can be to differentiate your branded assets from the competition in the present-day marketplace. If we analyze the results of our Connection Checker scoring exercise, we can conclude that for the childhood theme, our target Tropicana asset shows the strongest competitive advantage compared to a more generic competitive orange juice product visual. This means we can now rest assured that the childhood theme is our best option as intended association input for our content tuning exercise. So let us now go back to the content tuner and enter the keyword childhood as our new found intended association. We want all of our branded content to consistently evoke this theme as our implicit frame of reference. Our brand metaphor that distinctively and authentically captures a shared customer passion. After we now click the Generate button, we get a score revealing how well our content is evoking the childhood theme. It's now time to find or create some alternative content that might evoke our implicit frame of reference even better. Before we take a look at the Mindspeller tools that can inspire you to come up with alternative content, let's take a quick look at Mindspeller's emotional scoring feature on the lower right side of your Content Tuner screen. Here, you'll discover how your copy is perceived emotionally. Mindspeller uses the 3 independent emotional dimensions that have been significantly shown to capture the complete emotional profile of your content. It tells you whether your copy is associated with positive or negative memories, whether it reminds your audience of relaxed, soothing thoughts, or rather exciting, high adrenaline flashes. The 3rd independent dimension of your copy's emotional profile represents to what extent your copy evokes a feeling of influential authority as opposed to a feeling one would rather associate with a subject or follower. This emotional profiling of your copy can come in handy when you're ready to fine-tune your copy using the A/B comparison. Also, the words underlined in shades of red are most problematic in your A version. They are not all evoking memories of childhood theme in your customers' minds. When clicking these words, higher scoring alternatives can provide inspiration for creating your B version. But there's another way to get inspiration to create copy for our B version. Let us now open Mindspeller's Story Creator application to find out exactly how. First, we load our brand's key product visual. Then we load our intended association, childhood. Now, when we click the Generate button, we reveal thematic nodes that mentally connect our 2 concepts. We can now select the most inspiring ones to start connecting the dots and develop a narrative that allows us to evoke the intended association with our brand assets. We'll select some of the most emotional nodes and draft a brand story by trying to connect the themes in a meaningful way. Note that on this graph, the bigger the bubble, the more popular the keyword. So if they are relevant, we prefer the small, more original ones, and the bubbles in the upper right-hand quadrant link both concepts equally strongly. Let's give it a try with the keywords highlighted in this screen. Breakfast with your inner child. Rejuvenate. Every glass of Tropicana is filled with a million little sips of sunshine. Drink fresh, natural vitamin C from our sweet Florida orange trees that always brings a bit of brightness to your breakfast. Note how we can use elements of our A copy, yet subtly use new concepts and keywords that better evoke our intended frame of reference. Let's return now to our Content Tuner instance and copy-paste this new draft B version to check out whether it gets a better score. Paste the text generated with Story Creator and paste it in the B version. Generate a new score and compare results. Remember that differences on the Mindspeller scale of at least 0.2 are far from easy to achieve in practice and really do contribute to the extent to which you are evoking the intended association. And since the Mindspeller community mapped thousands of creative concepts in the world's largest implicit association network, you can look for relevant inspiration for alternative, higher scoring campaign imagery via the search box in your asset library. Use Mindspeller's mood search engine in the bottom banner of your library view to find pre-mapped Mindspeller images that evoke your brand's intended association. Simply add them to your library to use them for tuning your content to exceed your Content Tuner A/B quality assurance threshold score. Alright, we have reached the end of this Mindspeller product demonstration. I hope you're as excited as we are to apply these innovative marketing communication insights. We want your campaigns to contribute to your brand equity in the most objective and effective way possible today. In this Mindspeller demo, the use case material showcased illustrates how you can substantiate a state-of-the-art campaign strategy in a matter of hours or days, not weeks or months. Even award-winning hallmarks like Tropicana still produce content that can easily be refined based on Mindspeller's neuroscientific insights driven by the wisdom of the crowd. Now, before you start decoding your own brand DNA, we encourage you to try Mindspeller's free online demo and recreate this Tropicana case study step by step yourself. We will help you get ready to impress your leadership team, not just based on a hunch, but based on a proven brand equity optimization strategy and quality assurance framework that's backed by the world's largest EEG-validated implicit brand association network.